It's April 2019 and we are leaving South America. My niece Hannah is getting married at the end of May in northwest England, and we are using the opportunity to visit Windsor and Eton and tour Scotland in a motorhome afterwards.
We're leaving Montevideo. Helen is so not amused. How's the matter?
Absolutely bloody. It's only a 2-hour flight to São Paulo, a huge city with a population of 22 million people. Quite impressive from above. We have 4 hours at the airport before boarding our 11-hour flight to London.
I forgot to do a video. We just bought this really yummy chocolate pizza at Pizza Hut. And Helen is even licking now the cardboard thing because it was hot and it was yummy and it was melting and it was just, it was the best, wasn't it?
We're so hungry because we didn't eat since breakfast this morning, and it is 9:45. So
well, we just had a burger and fries.
We just shared a burger and fries.
We shared a burger and fries.
We don't have any money.
But we needed to have some dessert.
But we had...
Boy, what that was nice.
We had 8 rays left, and this cost us $6.80. So
yeah, we had to choose, but we chose the right thing. That's for sure. This is our Ledger Road apartment. Very nice. Helen doesn't like it that much because it has a skylight and it's going to be bright because we have a full moon. It's Easter time. This is our bathroom. Yeah, looks very nice. We're going to spend 4 days here to check out Windsor and Eton, and then we move on to Edinburgh. This is the communal kitchen area.
From our apartment in Slough, it is only 1.5 miles to Eton College, and Windsor Castle is just on the other side of the River Thames. Everything is in perfect walking distance for us. We certainly wouldn't have been able to afford a place in Windsor, and Slough is only a 50-minute bus ride from Heathrow Airport.
We're coming to Eton.
Our first destination over the Easter weekend is Eton and Windsor. Last year, Prince Harry married Meghan Markle in St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, which we watched on TV. Kirsten was so impressed with the castle and wanted to see it for herself. It's a beautiful sunny day and it's 25 degrees Celsius. Eton College is one of the most famous public schools in the world and was founded by Henry VI and built in 1440. It's a boarding school for 1,500 boys aged 13 to 18, and some of its famous scholars include Robert Boyle, the founder of modern chemistry, Ian Fleming, the author of James Bond, Aldous Huxley, George Orwell, Robert Walpole, the first British Prime Minister, and another 18 Prime Ministers.
This is the Church of Eton. Unfortunately, it's closed.
Today it costs over £40,000 per year, plus £1,400 for registration and acceptance fees, making it one of the most expensive public schools in the world.
There goes Helen. Beautiful old iron bridge here.
Because it's Easter weekend, the school is closed and the streets in Eton are fairly empty. Perfect for our first sightseeing day. The traditional shops provide everything an Eton schoolboy needs. School uniforms are custom made. J.K. Rowling certainly got a lot of her inspiration for the Harry Potter books from Eton. The old buildings are well maintained. Eton is very British, quaint, colourful and charming. A pedestrian bridge crosses the Thames between Eton and Windsor.
This is Eton's boathouse. I know. We're going from Eton now to Windsor Castle. It's a little hazy because I'm taking shots against the light, but this is Windsor Castle, where we're going next. It's packed on Easter Sunday here. People are everywhere. We just decided not to go in today. It's
This is the queue.
£22.50, but it's valid for a whole year. Interesting. But the queue is just too long today. And the chapel is closed anyway, so we'll be doing this probably on Tuesday. I just heard this is the line for 4 hours. You gotta come early. 9:30 is the time. This is Queen Victoria. And again the queue is here. And the Sunday church service for some important people just finished. They're coming out of the chapel.
We already knew that the Queen is in residence, but it wasn't until we got back to the apartment later and watched the news that we realised it's the Queen's birthday today. She's 93, and I kicked myself for not realising. No wonder the castle was closed until 1 p.m. The Easter service in St George's Chapel was attended by the Queen and her family and selected guests from the high society. How could we be so oblivious to the fact that we are so close to Her Majesty the Queen? It's only the 4th time she's had her birthday on Easter Sunday, and the next one will be in 2030, when she'll be 104. At the Tourist Information Office, we pick up a brochure on the Queen's Walkway. It's 6.3 kilometres long and connects 63 of Windsor's most significant attractions, including 4 memorials for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee in 2012.
This is a beautiful cherry tree here.
The Alexandra Gardens are a great place to relax and take photos of the cherry blossom.
This is the alley with plane trees, according to Helen. Some old lands. This is the Queen and her corgis.
The Windsor Lady, it's called, the Queen and her corgis.
Yeah, the Windsor Lady.
Across from the castle is the old train station, which is now the shopping centre of Windsor. Inside is a replica of the Queen Victoria locomotive, which was used in 1897 for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee.
Here you can lock your heart. And they just came to live here in London. They finally moved into their house. Helen's climbing the walls of Eton.
It's the ground. We walked over 8 miles, or 12.5 kilometres today, in 6 hours, and we're quite exhausted and starving. Cake and cappuccino in bed while watching the BBC News. Heaven.
This is BBC News. I'm Sean Lay. The headlines at 5. More than 200 people are known to have died after a series of explosions at churches and hotels in Sri Lanka. Authorities say 5 Britons are among the dead. Sri Lanka says 8 people have been arrested in connection with the attacks. Police say most of the explosions were suicide bombs. It's not yet clear who was responsible. In other news, more than 830 people involved in climate change protests in London this week have been arrested, police have confirmed. 42 of them will face charges. In West Yorkshire, a number of arrests of people in connection with the fires burning on Ilkley Moor. Dozens of firefighters are still dealing with the blaze, which in total covered 6 acres. On her 93rd birthday, the Queen attended the Easter Day service at Windsor Castle, where she was joined by family members including the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge.
We were there. Queen was there. We were there.
Off for another day to Eton and Cambridge. Windsor. Helen's on duty. Oh, yeah, there we go. And march. I thought you're going to spend the next 12 hours here.
Moving the barriers across the road to stop the traffic for the changing of the guard. Both barriers are down now. Armed police are waiting.
What is it, Dad?
At 10:45 a.m, the Royal Guard leaves Victoria Barracks and marches towards the castle for the changing of the guard. It's certainly one of the must-see events in Windsor. Today, the Coldstream Guards, in their magnificent uniforms and bearskin hats, have to look really good because Her Majesty the Queen is in the castle. The guards are doing the changing. The actual changing of the guard takes place inside the castle. We will check it out tomorrow. 40 minutes later, the band leaves the castle again and the relieved guard marches back to the barracks. Near the River Thames are the most famous public toilets in Windsor. Outside you can see the antique Dyson clock, and inside the tiles are decorated with scenes from Windsor. This can only happen on our website. Clean toilets in England with the special tiles on them. You taking video?
He's just like Helen when she needs her food.
On the River Thames, you can feed the swans. The kids love it. Do you see him?
Mm-hmm. This is the famous boat club, Eton Boat Club over there. Nobody boating today. And this is the bridge over to Eton.
Whilst enjoying a snack for lunch, we watched the boats going through one of the many Thames locks. It's really peaceful here. A perfect spot to get away from the crowds in Windsor.
Now this would be my next home. That is excellent. Even the dogs are on board. Hi guys. Have a good ride.
Taking the dogs for a walk.
Now you would have a lot of space on a houseboat like this.
In the afternoon, we tackle the long walk from the castle to the Copper Horse on Snow Hill.
We're on the long mile. The Queen's at home, you can see the flag. We're almost done with our 4.1 kilometers or 2.6 miles. I was going backwards because it's easier on the knees. There's the horse, the Copper Horse. You look like you're marching. And stop. And forward. And go. Okay, whatever. March. You just need that bobblehead. And to the left. And stop. Here we are at the Copper Horse. George III. I can't remember the year. Helen can tell you that. And right on the left-hand side in the distance you can see Windsor Castle. It's 2.6 miles or 1.4 kilometers, which we have done in about 45 minutes. And it's pretty hot. Thank God we have some water with us today. Helen was just saying George III, 1879. There you go. That was a bloody long walk. That's what it's called without the bloody.
You see the guards?
Yeah, I can kind of make them out.
See the guard houses, but
I can see the bobblehead. What are they called? Buzzy? Buzzbees. Now we've got to do the 4.1 kilometers back. I wish I had a rollerblades or something. That would be perfect. We're almost back at the castle and now we're ready for an ice cream. Helen tells me that Mr. Whoopi is the place to go.
Yeah, any thoughts? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I can take it. They are delicious, expensive but delicious.
Truly expensive.
Yeah, they're truly expensive. £7.50.
Yeah,
Holy crap, that's $10. But they're good.
Windsor.
Yeah, it's Windsor.
A cricket match is being played at Eton College, a British sport with very complicated rules for Kirsten.
We love this apartment. We had a really long day, probably about 20 kilometers of walking. Helen just did another extra 2 kilometers to go to Tesco to get us some stuff. 3 kilometers? It can't be. 2.
It's 1.4 each way. That's 2.8.
True. So yeah, and now we're having a cappuccino. This is the best part of the day, because we get to get some cake with it too. This is really cool here. It's about 5 or 6 fridges, and we have our stuff in the top shelf. You can get the stuff out. I want my cherry cake.
Cherry cake is?
I think it's in the back, yeah. Helen has some custard tarts. We even got some Easter eggs from the landlord here, or the landlady. I nicked the last bag. It's in our room. She's got some fruit ready for us as well. And over there are the washing machines. We might not use them. We might do our laundry in Edinburgh. But isn't that great? It's such a great apartment. Such a great big kitchen. We never have this kind of space ever in our motorhome lives. This is pure luxury. 9:35 Tuesday morning after the holidays, and there is, I don't think there's a queue. We've got a couple of groups, but they are being processed separately. We are good to go in straight away, I think. Yeah, they're getting their tickets. We can get it. Yeah, and almost.
It is.
So can we go over this way?
Yeah, if you're into Brazil, try and get through the middle door.
Thank you.
And in military.
Thank you. We're walking right through to the counter. Excellent.
The entrance fee is £22.50 each, which includes an audio guide or a guided tour that leaves every 30 minutes. The ticket is valid for 1 year if you sign it with ID in front of a staff member and get it stamped before you exit.
My babes in technology.
It's not working.
We opt for the audio guides and visit the Windsor Museum first to learn all about Windsor Castle. It has a history that is almost 1,000 years old. The original castle was built in the 11th century, after the Norman invasion of England by William the Conqueror. Since the time of Henry I, it has been used by the reigning monarch and is the longest occupied palace in Europe. Something I'll never forget is the huge fire on the 20th of November 1992, lasting for 15 hours and causing widespread damage to the upper ward.
Helen is sending a WhatsApp to the Queen. We've got her number. Is she replying? Has she read it?
It's going through.
Okay. She's sending you a kiss?
After the museum, we go straight to the upper ward to secure the best spots for watching the changing of the guard.
Helen's already lining up for the changing of the guards.
When the Queen is in residence, the ceremony takes place in the upper ward. Otherwise, it's in the lower ward. We learn later from one of the staff in the castle that the Queen watches the ceremony from her private windows.
We're in front row position today. Finally, we're well informed after 3 days of what's going on here in Windsor. Missed the Queen's birthday, the salute, we missed everything. But now we're in the right spot to watch the changing of the guards, we hope.
Not that they suddenly moved them.
The Guard is an elite force to protect the Queen in her summer residence. The bearskin hats are an old English tradition. They were originally used to make the soldier look taller. The actual changing of the Guard ceremony takes about 30 minutes inside the castle. The Windsor Castle Guard and the new Guard present arms before the captains of the Guard hand over the castle keys with a symbolic touch of their left hands. Now the new Guard is responsible for the security of Windsor Castle until they are relieved.
Mary Poppins for Helen. She just watched the movie on the plane.
Yeah, so I think they're getting ready to go now. They're going to march. There's the bandmaster. He's come on now. That's the master you were waving at earlier. They are marching on the grass, you're right. There's lots of heads of yet to go, haven't they? They're going to march all the way back to the barracks where we saw them. Yes? That's it. Do it.
We're going on the castle tour next. Whilst we can visit some of the rooms today, the others are still in use by the royal family. It's one of Her Majesty's homes and her favourite weekend retreat. The staterooms are amazing, extremely lavish and full of extraordinary artwork, sculptures, furniture and tapestries. Unfortunately, photography is not allowed inside.
Helen is off to a royal pee. Did you go for a royal shit too? It took you ages. Royal pee?
Please, a bit of decorum.
It took you ages, that's why I thought you went for a royal.
I was enjoying the experience. I thought about nicking some loo paper from the royal collection, but I thought, no, maybe not.
Does it smell any better than ours?
It smells like an old woman.
That would be fitting for you and the Queen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I actually look like her older sister.
Yeah, I think so. You could go through as a double.
No. This is my chocolate ice cream.
Royal Windsor. There you go. Whether I can frame that, I don't know, but this is Royal Windsor chocolate because the cream, the milk, comes from the Jersey herd, which is here at the home farm.
Okay.
So that's why it's Windsor. It's called Windsor chocolate. And underneath is blackcurrant with clotted cream. I actually got 2 scoops of that because it's won an award, and it's made at Marshfields in Bath. And you can actually go on a tour of their ice cream factory, but they have to have the milk delivered from here, the Jersey herds, down to Bath, so they can make the chocolate. And they make this vanilla chocolate and strawberry are all Windsor chocolate or Windsor strawberry, Windsor vanilla. This blackcurrant one has won an award because it's that good. That's why I changed my mind. I had 2 scoops of that instead of just the one. It was originally going to be salted caramel, the third one.
So how much is the royal ice cream?
The royal ice cream is royally expensive. Would you like to try some?
No, I want to know the price first before I choke on it.
No, actually, 3 scoops is £5 because we're in Windsor Castle. Have you ever had an ice cream in
I'm
Windsor
going to
Castle?
have Chinese afterwards.
Well, fine.
For £5. And how is it?
Royally divine.
Enjoy your royal ice cream.
A gift box. And there's some Windsor chocolate. Bars of Windsor chocolate. I didn't even look at the prices. I thought, better not.
Helen's hungry. This is the most annoying thing. Every 30 seconds there's a plane flying over Windsor. Right? Here's with the Queen of my heart. The Queen of Hearts. We're on our way to St. George's Cathedral. He's actually looking at me, you can't see it there. He's watching me.
St George's Chapel is the spiritual home of the Order of the Garter, the senior order of British chivalry established in 1348 by Edward III. Construction of the present chapel began in 1475 in the reign of Edward IV. Within the chapel are the tombs of 10 monarchs, including Henry VIII and his third wife, Jane Seymour, and Charles I. It's after 4 p.m. by the time we leave. We had spent 6.5 hours inside and are really tired now.
Boys, you will not cross here.
Edinburgh Castle.
In our next video, we explore Edinburgh for 4 days. Another amazing city with so much to see, and our first stop in Scotland. Mayday, mayday. Kirsten trousers.